Alright, yo guys, what's going on? It's Sword Rage, and welcome back to some more World War II. Now, quite honestly, for this video, I actually was considering making this an Iron Sight video, but I didn't want to sit there on Iron Sight while talking more about Call of Duty because I did that in the last Iron Sight video. But yeah, definitely though, within the next couple of days, I will be doing another Iron Sight video at some point. But for today though, I guess playing World War II would make the most sense because of what I want to talk about. It's kind of a continuation of my Black Ops 4 talks, and more or less what's kind of triggered me to go ahead and make this video is I've been reading a lot of YouTube comments, which is probably not a very good idea. Actually, scratch that. It is a bad idea, obviously, depending on what it is, but I've been reading the comment section of my reacting to the BO4 reveal, which that video in itself has about 120, 130 some odd dislikes. It's by far my most disliked video ever, which is completely understandable. It's completely understandable as to why anybody would dislike that video. I mean, it does make sense because my reaction was a little unnecessary, and also on top of that, a lot of people may have just simply disliked it just because they disagree with my opinion, and that's completely fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So again though, I've been reading the comment section of that video, and that hasn't really been a very bright idea because there's a lot of angry people in that comment section. I mean, I'm a very angry person who made the video in the first place, but then again though, there were some comments that have now kind of inspired me to make this video. There we go. Oh, I missed the fifth. I'm awful. World War II, stack, quad feed, Lee Enfield, war, insanity. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some of the recent comments, though, and a lot of them are revolving around the same thing as in, it's not bad, stop bitching. Alright, fair enough.
A bomb's been planted on our ammo supply!
You know, I really hope they never fix that. Literally the meme of World War II. It's great. So, you know, quite honestly, though, that kind of comment really shouldn't fluster me in any sort of way, because I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, were you out in LA? Were you there for the BO4 reveal? Did you actually get a chance to play it? More than likely, no. So, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and make the assumption that this guy was not at the BO4 reveal, because anybody who tells me to stop bitching, it's not that bad, who hasn't played the game yet, that's just a matter of opinion. Now, if this guy actually did play the BO4 reveal, I would assume he maybe would have given me some, like, insight to it. But again, though, from all the gameplay that I've seen, it's literally BO3 just without exo jumping and wall running. Which also, by the way, people are still telling me it's technically boots on the ground, and it's like, it is, but it's not. Because you can still exo slide, that's still slightly advanced movement. Me personally, I wouldn't consider that boots on the ground. But now, this next comment started off with, is this another guy who wants boring-ass old-school games, where it's literally impossible to innovate and make any new, fresh game, and make a new, fresh game, and I just, oh my. A boring-ass old-school game. Right, because the World War II reveal got over 1 million likes. It's extremely evident that a majority of people do want these old school kind of games. Now, granted, World War II kind of flopped in the aspect of there was a lot of issues with the game at first, or at launch. And now, to be fair, they didn't do a very good job of adding in variety right off the start. The game didn't have ground war, the game was extremely slow paced. But then again, though, that was kind of like the main idea as to what they wanted to do as far as game design goes. Like, Sledgehammer's goal with this game was to create a very realistic and gritty form of World War II that we haven't seen in a while. And once again, just going off the World War II reveal, again, it got over 1 million likes. World War II and these classic kind of games are games that a lot of people like. It just depends how the studio goes about it. Now, Battlefield 5, on the other hand. Quick little side note, though, but I saw the reveal for that, and I don't even know how I feel about that. Usually, Battlefield is very good with their games. I don't know what they were doing with that one. At least from the look of it, though, there was a female with, like, a mechanical arm or something like that, so in my personal opinion, though, it really is a matter as to how the game developers really go about creating old school games. But again though, to go ahead and say something like it's literally impossible to innovate these old school games, no, it's really not. There are so many ways that these game developers could go about adding new and fresh content into the game while still keeping a game like, for example, Call of Duty core to its roots, or sticking to the core roots of the game. In which again though, I understand that there's a lot of people that disagree with my opinion on this, but World War II is actually a fantastic game. Granted, it became a fantastic game after they had to fix it. Because at first, I mean, yeah, it was fun, it was classic, but again, there wasn't any ground war, there was no weekend warfares, they're just Obviously, yes, when it comes to a game that wants to create a very realistic World War II setting, it is kind of hard with creativity. For a perfect example, within the cosmetics, because I'm pretty sure Blood Diamond was not a camo on a Springfield back in 1945. Still though, it's the things within the game that make it fun. It's the game modes. But again though, when it comes to innovating the game, like a perfect example, again, the World War II update, adding in weekend warfares like we've seen on this game, and especially Modern Warfare Remastered. And then he goes on to say, why would anyone want another fucking COD 4 or World War II when the remaster game died in like half a year? Which this is kind of a topic that I wanted to make an MWR video on, but I can perfectly explain why MWR died off so fast. In my opinion, the reason why MWR died off so fast is because it was paired with Infinite Warfare. That was already a shitty decision. But then again though, I feel like a majority of the people who are like, oh yeah, cool, MWR, like they probably haven't been playing COD 4 for as long as I have, for example. Basically, more or less, COD 4 is not their first game, and they probably didn't spend a lot of time playing it. They probably didn't get into it as much as somebody like I did. So again though, MWR was something that a lot of people thought was going to be really, really cool, and a lot of old school fans like myself, or COD 4 elitists, I guess I should go ahead and say, wanted the game to be pretty much a copy and paste, which I will admit I wanted the game to be a copy and paste. But quite honestly though, at the same time, it simply could not be a copy and paste because so many people have started playing Call of Duty to the point where we've added in so much customization to the game that if we were to do a copy and paste of COD 4, people would get burnt on it. I almost got quad-headed. No, okay, it was only triple head. People would have got so bored and tired of COD 4 just because it's so simplistic. In the original game, there's not a whole lot you can customize. You have a certain amount of camos, certain amount of attachments, no title cards, no emblems, only 3 kill streaks. Like, a lot of people don't like that. And that's because they started after 2009, so they're used to all the customization and whatnot. So it's completely understandable for a game like MWR to have so much customization in it to the point where it's not COD 4, but that's because it was meant to appeal to a lot of people, but still at the base game, it is COD 4. But also again though, like I was saying, what kept Modern Warfare Remastered so much fun was the fact that they kept adding in new game modes. Oh my god, what am I doing? So again though, like I was saying though, Modern Warfare Remastered was actually a really fun game, and it kept the game populated because they kept adding in new events. All the weekend warfares that we saw, all the new different game modes. That's what can keep these old school games feel like new and refreshing, because they're adding in new things to the game, new things to do. And again though, the problem with World War II is that it was such a slow-paced game on pretty big maps, only 6v6, no ground war. Quite honestly though, like the opportunities are endless as to what the Call of Duty creators and really just any game developer can do to keep their game fresh and entertaining. It's just a matter of how they go about it. And honestly, at the end of it all though, for as much as I love the old school Call of Duties, I know they will never come back. See, when you go back and think about the first Call of Duty that you ever played, say it was MW2 or MW3, more than likely though, the first Call of Duty that you played is your favorite, and you would want a Call of Duty that's extremely similar to that to come back on a more consistent basis. But the thing of it is, it's not going to be that way. I still have a hard time accepting it, but I feel like what the developers should do is look back on those old games, look at as to why they were so successful, why so many people love them, and see what they do, see what they can do at least to recreate it. Because obviously again, there's never going to be an exact copy and paste of COD 4. There's never going to be an exact copy and paste of Black Ops 1. But what they can do is they can base a game off of that and design the game around that to have it feel like those classic games. And then add in the fun game modes of weekend warfares and keep the game fresh like that. Also, this is something I feel like I may have mentioned in that Black Ops 1 video, but something that I feel like that they really should do is create a game that they mean to update for years to come. Like perhaps take a year off and focus on that one specific game. Which I feel like that's kind of what Black Ops 4 is doing, but I don't know what they got planned for it. They don't work anymore, they won't ever work again. These OG COD fans are the stupidest I've seen. It's so disappointing. If by stupid OG COD fans you mean people that are extremely passionate about the game and want to see them be successful, then okay. I've also said this before, but again, I understand that it's hard to develop a Call of Duty when again, they have to predict what we're gonna want in 3 to 4 years. Like, I get that. But my biggest problem, I've said this countless times, my biggest problem is the fact that they're not sticking to their roots. They're trying to become something that they're not. Granted, again, it's completely understandable to expand, but the game is becoming not what it once was.
Even with your fucking hack, you piece of shit.
Oh dear. Stop being such a bitch, Loki. It's COD. It's the same thing every year. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I've been a part of this series for over a decade. Trust me, I've heard it's Call of Duty. It's the same thing every single year, which would make sense as to why they would try to innovate in a way. Try to change things up a little bit. That's why we went to the whole futuristic setting and people didn't like it. But I think the biggest problem, again, with it all is the fact that a lot of people are like me and don't like how they are trying to become something that they're not. I also really like this one. It's boots on the ground, you deaf child. God, no! I don't want the 9mm bullet. I just want the 30-06. I don't know why people get mad at Treyarch. They literally ran out of ideas. What did you expect? So now again though, I know I already said this, but when it comes to Black Ops 4, I really feel like that, yeah, Treyarch just kind of fell back on Black Ops 3's success because they knew how well that game did. And after seeing all the whole, oh, I'm so tired of the jetpacks, they went ahead and took out wall running and exo jumping from the game. But you can still slide around. I don't really... Oh, hello. I don't really know how well that's going to go over, but I mean, again, I'm still going to play the beta. I'm still going to get the game, obviously, because for as much shit as I'm talking about Black Ops 4, I still want to give it a fair chance. Like, who knows? Maybe I'll actually like it. Genuinely, I would be surprised if it turns out I like the game. And if it does turn out that I end up liking the game, it's going to be really fun to come back to these videos after a couple of months and be like, wow, I'm a fucking idiot. I was talking so much shit and I love the game. And just in case that is the case, hello, future me. I feel like at this point in time, though, I've talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. Like, I just wanted to clear a few things up. I know I've probably probably repeated myself quite a bit, and I know I definitely said this earlier in the video, but unfortunately, we're never going to have those Call of Duties again. Or at least we may not ever have a Call of Duty again that's going to make us feel like we're playing that very first Call of Duty that we played again. Again, whether it be your first COD was COD 4, Black Ops 1, what have you, there may not ever be a Call of Duty that's ever going to be like that, because that first game that we played is what set our standard for the series. And with that, though, it is exciting to see what they're going to do for the future. It's just a matter of they're trying to become something that they're not, and that's not what Call of Duty is. Another guy who wants to keep it simple. Go back to World War II. Oh, what, it sucks. Make up your mind. My mind is made up. I like World War II. At the end of it all, though, like, I really do want to, like, prove myself wrong. Like, I want to come back to these videos in a few months and be like, haha, you're an idiot. You actually like Black Ops 4. The reason why I say that is because, obviously, I love Call of Duty. This is pretty much all I play. I'm obviously extremely passionate about the series, and I want to see the series do the best it possibly can. I have my own opinions on how I want the games, though, but still, at the end of it all, I want it to be successful. I want it to be a good game that people play throughout the course of the year. And then again, though, if there is a studio to do that, it is Treyarch. Just, I don't know, though. We'll just have to see. So yeah, that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this World War II video. I apologize for the consistent rambling and whatnot, but even if you view it as bitching, though, just whatever. So again, though, I hope y'all have enjoyed this World War II video. It's been Soul Rage. I will talk to you guys later. Take care, everybody.